All right, y'all, let's get it done. We are now in step 3, which is the editing portion of your book. Again, we did low and light content books, right? So workbooks, poems, and let me put some respect on y'all's name. When I say light content, I'm not saying that your poems is light. I just mean that we've got a light amount of words for editing. So it's probably easy for you and maybe a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a friend, a coworker, to just kind of put together and edit real quick. That's what I mean when I say low and light content. But baby, your poems is fire. Don't let me downplay your work, okay? But we're here in the editing phase. And so step 3 is really all about editing your book so you feel empowered to use it, and that you feel empowered to use the tips that are shared in this section. If you prefer to use a professional editor, maybe let us know, okay? Because we will definitely help you with editing and preparing that for print if you would like to do so. So biggest tips and tricks that I'm going to recommend here is a program that's called Fiverr. Definitely and highly encourage you to start there. If you're like, you know what, I don't really want to do this myself, I need a little help, but I'm not trying to break the bank. Fiverr will have people that can sometimes have, depending on what your word count is, they can help you get this done without much cost at all. Fiverr is really good too. Like, let's say you're like, you know what, I'm not going to do my book cover by myself and I don't want to pay the cost to use somebody else. Fiverr is really good for all of these. Let's say you get through this and you didn't like using Canva to format. You can go there and find somebody to format. So Fiverr is a really good place to find somebody who may not be as expensive in the editing process. Another tip that I use Grammarly. Take, copy, paste that into Grammarly. Grammarly will tell you, for the most part, if you've got some errors. Sometimes it doesn't always catch everything. That's why I always will encourage an editor. And then another step of what you can do, this is something that has personally helped me, is that you can get your laptop to do some sort of feedback. Like mine, when it's in Word, I don't know how to do it for everyone. Don't let me lie to you. I'm just sharing tips that I've used now, to where it reads your manuscript back to you. So you press the little key things, it reads it back to you. And that's really good if you're somebody who you need to hear it. Like if you're just scanning constantly, you may miss things. But when you're actually listening to someone else read it, you may say, oh my God, that doesn't flow or that doesn't make sense. So those are some tips that I use. Another thing that I've used as well is that, like, if you're still in college or you've got access to a college campus, sometimes you can use that writing center. That's usually free for the students, but you may be able to reach out and find someone who'd be willing to just be able to say that they were a part of the process. When I first did my very first poetry book, actually, somebody bartered with me. They said, hey, can you just give me a letter of recommendation? In exchange, I'll edit your full manuscript for you. So, there's definitely ways in which you can do this without paying anything. I gave you a few tips. Get it to read it out loud. Grammarly does have free options. But if you're noticing that you need a little bit more help, definitely invest in that. Okay. So to wrap up this section, go ahead and edit your manuscript. If you're stuck on anything at any point and you're like, you know what, I actually could afford, and it's in my long-term goal to be successful with my book, let me invest in an editor. Hit us up, contact us. We would definitely be glad to help you with doing that.